we, by very nature, at our core, are relational people. Let me illustrate it with a Lego. Who doesn't like Legos, right? I've got a Lego up here. If you look at a Lego, you see something very specific about its design. There are 8 cylinder blocks, ridges, I don't know what you want to call these things. Whatever they are, you can see them. Probably not in the back, but you've seen a Lego. When you look at a Lego, you realize that it was never designed to just be alone. The shape tells us its purpose. It was meant to connect to other Legos. And even when you have a tower of 10 Legos, the top still points to the fact that another Lego can still be connected on top. Our design points to our purpose. You and I are relational people. That is how we are designed, and that is how we are encouraged to live our life in relationship with God and one another. And this is why that's important. That means there's no such thing as a person who's like, I don't need other people. Maybe you've encountered someone like that. Like, yeah, I can do this on my own. I don't need other people. Often that is a person who's probably had trauma or something happened in their life, and it's a form of protection. It's how they're coping with their life. We do need one another. It's who we are. And one of the best examples we see in Scripture is in the book of Acts. So we're going to also look back and see a snapshot of the early church and how they prioritized relational life. I'm going to read it for you. So let me first give you a quick summary of where we're at. The book of Acts is picking up where the Gospels left off. So Jesus died, he rose again, he ascended to heaven, and now in the book of Acts, the church is left to carry out his mission. They show up, and God shows up in incredible ways. 3,000 people put their trust in Jesus in one moment. The church is growing, and they are living out relationship, and here's what it looks like. Starting in verse 42, they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to fellowship, to the breaking of bread and to prayer. Everyone was filled with awe at the many wonders and signs performed by the apostles. All the believers were together and had everything in common. They sold property and possessions to give to anyone who had a need. Every day they continued to meet together in the temple courts. They broke bread in their homes and ate together with glad and sincere hearts, praising God and enjoying the favor of all the people. And the Lord added to their number daily those who were being saved. Now, the book of Acts, it's inspiring. What we see here are some things that we see today, but also the way it's lived out looks a little different than how we do church today. I don't believe Acts is prescribing and telling us how we should do church, like a copy and paste. I think when Luke wrote that, he's just describing what we saw the early church do. But I think what we can still do today is say, what are those principles that we do see in the early church? And in a life that's always changing, what would it look like to apply that today to our context? So let me look at verse 42 and 43 and point out one word for y'all: devoted. They devoted themselves. Devotion means giving constant attention to something. It means to stay all in no matter what. Now tonight we are going to see devotion on full display, because every year there's this event called the Super Bowl. It's a one-of-a-kind event that brings together a whole lot of different types of people. On one end, you have the people who have the jersey. I see it. Man, these people are all in. They know the details of the game. They know stats from all the players. They can tell you what a blitz is and a Hail Mary and a 4th and goal. Right alongside some people who still don't have enough courage to admit that they still don't know what a first down is. But they're showing up anyway. Yeah, I saw your hand up too. You're here. But you're showing up because there is going to be some good food at that party. There's going to be some great conversations, right? The commercials, let's see how they rate this year. Kendrick Lamar, what's the halftime show going to be like with him, right? Because you are here, but don't be fooled. You are not devoted to football. The person devoted to football is the one who's glued to the TV, who's like, stop talking, stop talking. They're focused in, they're breaking down the plays and seeing the impact it's gonna have on the rest of the game. That is what devotion looks like. It's this constant attention, it's this unwavering focus. That is what the early church did when it came to relationships, when it came to the church. And they weren't just doing what was convenient. They weren't just showing up and complaining about things that were just preferences. No, they were all in. they were devoted. Now, it's February 9, and stats tell us that this is about the time, and give or take a week, where gym membership is going to rapidly decline. So all of you who started January strong, know 2025 is the year. Well, in a week, we're gonna see if it's the year. And if you are a gym junkie, just hold on. The gym will be yours in about a week. It will be cleared out. So let me just say this. Think about a gym membership. It's one thing to sign up. It's another thing to show up and do the hard work. When you show up and you do the hard work, you're gonna experience growth. The same is with relationships in the church. When you show up and you're devoted to relationships, you're gonna see the growth.